The story begins with Yolena, a secret agent working under CIA officer Valentina. Despite her high-stakes missions, Yolena feels a deep void within her, as though she's living in a world filled with nothing but darkness. This emptiness stems from the loss of her sister, a tragedy she has never been able to move past. Meanwhile, Valentina appears at a press conference where she faces serious allegations. She is accused of conducting illegal experiments to turn humans into superhumans. In her defense, Valentina simply states, "I'm only trying to save this world, because the Avengers won't come to save us anymore." The court then announces that every institute operating under Valentina must undergo investigation. Only after that will a decision be made about her guilt or innocence. We then see Yolena at a research center in Malaysia. She is there to erase all evidence against Valentina. Secret agents had already destroyed most of the labs Valentina was using, and this one is the last remaining. Yolena intimidates the scientists so severely that one of them takes his own life. Afterward, Yolena walks out of the building and blows it up with a remote-controlled bomb. Mission complete, Yolena visits her stepfather, Alexei, and confides in him about her sadness and sense of purposelessness. Alexei advises her to choose missions that actually make a difference, ones that benefit people and earn their appreciation. Yolena is inspired by Alexei's advice. She speaks to her boss and tells her that she no longer wants to undertake secret missions. From now on, she wants to operate openly without hiding in the shadows. Valentina agrees, but on one condition: Yolena must complete one final secret mission. After that, she will be free to choose her own path. Valentina gives her the address of a secret vault and explains that an agent named Eva Starr is inside. Eva has the power of invisibility and is attempting to steal classified research. Yolena's task is to stop her and eliminate her if necessary. Yolena agrees to take on the mission. Soon after, we see her approaching the secret vault. When she enters, Eva is nowhere in sight. Suddenly, a boy named John attacks her. At the same time, a third agent appears and also begins attacking John. Then Eva reveals herself and attacks the third agent, eventually killing him. For a moment, Yolena is completely confused by the chaos. Just then, a frightened man appears before her and all the vault doors suddenly lock shut. Yolena quickly realizes that Valentina has betrayed her. By orchestrating this chaotic trap with multiple agents, Valentina has ensured that all those who possess evidence against her will destroy each other. Yolena tells the others trapped in the vault, John, the frightened man, and Eva, that Valentina has set them up. As it turns out, John, Yolena, and the frightened man, whose name is Bob, are all trapped. Even Eva, despite her powers, is stuck behind a sound barrier. Outside the vault, Valentina gives the order to destroy the entire facility. Inside, the group desperately tries to find a way out. Yolena devises a plan. They must first free Eva from the sound barrier. The group begins searching for the barrier's battery. Meanwhile, Valentina activates a time bomb. Fortunately, the team locates the battery just in time and deactivates the sound barrier. Eva is freed and she quickly opens the vault doors, saving the others. When Valentina learns they are still alive, she immediately gives the order to have them killed. Watching the CCTV footage, she notices Bob, the frightened man. She hadn't known he was in the vault, so she instructs her assistant to find out everything about him. At the same time, she orders her agents to eliminate the survivors. Unbeknownst to her, her own driver is actually Alexei, Yolena's stepfather, who has uncovered Valentina's entire plan and knows the vault's location. Back inside, John questions Bob about who he is and why he was in the vault. Bob replies, "I don't remember anything. I only remember donating my blood for a medical study. Then I woke up here." John doesn't believe him and starts attacking him, but Yolena intervenes and stops the fight. She insists that they must work together if they hope to escape. John then breaks down a wall to access the lift, but it's non-functional due to a power cut. Thinking quickly, he suggests that they climb up by tying their waists together. Meanwhile, Valentina discovers Bob's true identity. He is the subject of one of her secret experiments. She is shocked, as she believed all the test subjects had been killed. Now, realizing that Bob is alive, she understands that her experiment has succeeded. Surprised and alarmed, she decides to head to the vault herself. They somehow climb up the lift and see that Valentina's men have arrived to kill them. Valentina had already ordered her people to capture the 4 of them alive. She exits through the team gate, sets off a small explosion, and enters the vault. Inside, Yolena explains to the man named Bob, "If you want to stay alive, stay behind me." Bob looks very anxious. He says to Yolena, "I think all this is happening because of some bad deed I did." Yolena replies, "No, don't think that way. All of us have either suffered something terrible or done something we regret." As they are talking, their enemies enter. They hear the sounds of fighting and rush outside, only to see that John has already taken down all the enemies by himself. Meanwhile, Valentina sends another group of men after them. This time, Yolena, the great fighter, kills them all while protecting Bob. John also arrives. Now they had to escape from there. Yolena puts on the uniform of Valentina's men and walks out in disguise. They are just about to flee in a car when a guard stops them. An argument starts between John and the guard. Suddenly, Bob takes a gun from the car and fires it into the air. Everyone's attention turns toward him. He wants to say something, but the guards misinterpret it as a threat. So they all open fire on him. Valentina, who was behind, was about to stop them. After all, she wanted to see how far her experiment had succeeded. But now, that experiment had turned into a massacre. Yolena and John are devastated to see this, but taking advantage of the chaos, they manage to escape. On the other hand, we see Bob, who, despite being hit by countless bullets, is still alive. Not only that, his wounds heal completely. Seeing this, the soldiers shoot at him again, and he suddenly shoots up into the air like a rocket. He hovers in the clouds for a few seconds before suddenly fainting. Due to gravity, he falls at such speed that Yolena and John's car flips over from the impact. Meanwhile, Valentina instructs her assistant to bring Bob back alive. At the same time, she orders that the other 3 agents be eliminated. The next morning, Alexei also arrives. Yolena is surprised to see him. He tells her, "I overheard Valentina's plan to kill you. From her words, I figured out the location of the vault. Your life was in danger, so I came to warn you." They were about to leave in Alexei's car when Valentina's men arrived and opened fire. John tried to protect them using his shield, but it had stopped working. They were about to be killed. Just then, a hero appeared from behind, firing bullets and destroying Valentina's cars. The scene cuts to Valentina and Bob at the watchtower. Bob is terrified by his condition. Seeing Valentina makes him even more anxious, and he begins to curse her. But Valentina calmly says, "Look, I've turned your boring life into something extraordinary. Now you have the strength of 100 men. You can do anything." As she touches his hand, she enters a dark void, a world of her inner thoughts. There, she relives the terror of her childhood, where enemies shot and killed her father. She then raises her hand and tells her assistant to hold a press conference. Meanwhile, the man who helped the 4 agents earlier now has them in custody. He tells them, "You must testify against Valentina." They agree but request to be released for now, saying, "We need to stop Valentina first." They tell him everything about Valentina's experiments that turned Bob into a superhuman. But the man still doesn't believe them. Just then, he receives a call from Valentina's assistant informing him that Valentina is about to hold a press conference about Bob. Now he understands that Valentina has created something dangerous that could endanger the entire world. So he turns to the group and asks, "Will you help me stop Valentina and Bob?" The man's name is Buggy. Yolena tells him, "We're not good people like you. How can we do this?" Buggy replies, "I was just like you. I've done terrible things. But then I started over and chose to do the right thing. If you support me now, you'll be able to hold your heads high." Hearing this, all of them agree to help him. On the other side, Valentina is seen training Bob. She teaches him how to control everything using his mind and body. Meanwhile, the team arrives at the watchtower to capture Valentina. First, they engage in a fight with her guards. Then they hear Valentina's voice over the speaker. "Come on up. I've been waiting for you to lose." When they reach the top, Valentina puts a special uniform on Bob in front of them and announces, "This Bob now has more power than 10 Avengers. I have named him Sentry." Valentina welcomes the team sarcastically, saying that she has a press conference in a short while where her sentry will fight these people and display his strength. She believes that once people see what she has created, all accusations and restrictions on her will be lifted. The team sees this as madness. They try to talk sense into Bob, but he tells them to join Valentina's team instead. Hearing this, Alexei gets furious and attacks Sentry, but Sentry's light shove sends him crashing into a wall. Now, all of them attack Sentry together. But with a wave of his hand, Sentry stops them all. Seeing this, Yolena realizes that they cannot defeat Sentry through force. For now, they must conserve their energy. The group decides to retreat. The scene opens in chaos. Sentry, once Bob, now a being of unimaginable power, stands silently as Valentina orders him to destroy Yolena and her team. But to her surprise, he refuses. "No," he says coldly. "They don't pose a threat to me. I won't fight the weak. And I definitely won't kill at your command." Valentina is stunned, her own creation now defying her. Below, Yolena and her team hear this exchange. Defeated and humiliated, Yolena turns to them. "We're all losers," she snaps and storms away. Her words sting. The team disperses in silence, emotionally broken. But Alexei follows her, hoping to bring her back. Meanwhile, something darker brews inside Sentry. Drunk on his own power, he begins to see himself as a god. Valentina sees it too. The loss of control. She reaches for a hidden kill switch, but before she can use it, Sentry senses her betrayal. He lunges, grabbing her throat, lifting her off the ground like a rag doll. The switch slips from her hand. Just as her life begins to fade, Valentina's assistant bursts in. She snatches the kill switch and presses the button. Suddenly, silence. Sentry's body goes limp, but he isn't dead. He's gone somewhere else. A realm of shadows, of echoes, of pain, of void. Sentry's physical form vanishes, leaving behind only a flickering dark presence. Now a shadow himself, he soars into the sky. Soldiers fire, and with a mere gesture, he turns them into shadows too. Helicopters come. He crashes them effortlessly. One of the copters slams into a nearby building. It begins to crumble, threatening the lives of countless innocents. Yolena and her team spring into action. No time to wallow in despair. With strength and coordination, they begin rescuing civilians, holding up collapsing beams, pulling children from rubble. And the people notice. Cheers erupt. Applause follows. For the first time, they are no longer fugitives. They are heroes. But the threat hasn't passed. Sentry's shadow form begins infecting people, turning them into walking silhouettes consumed by negativity. His power spreads like a virus of despair. Yolena realizes the truth. He can't be killed. Not like this. So she does the unthinkable. She gives in. She surrenders herself to the void. Her body transforms into a shadow. She crosses over. Alexei screams her name. But she's already gone. Inside the void, a swirling, shifting dimension of painful memories, Yolena searches for Bob, but the void strikes back. Memory after memory assaults her. Guilt, grief, shame. The death of a little girl, all because of her. Just when she feels herself unraveling, she sees him. Bob, sitting alone in a memory, trapped in sorrow. When she calls out to him, he barely reacts. "That's not me," Bob whispers. "That thing is the loneliness I've carried. The rage, the neglect. Yolena sees it all. His father's cruelty, the isolation, the fear." Her heart breaks for him. She takes his hand. But the void doesn't stop. It tries to consume them both. And just then, a miracle. The others arrive. One by one, they've entered the void, each confronting their own worst memories. And now, united, they fight back. They push through the shadows until they reach the memory. Bob, strapped to a table in Valentina's lab, the place where it all began. But instead of Bob, they find it. The living embodiment of the void. The negative being inside Bob. Bob steps forward. He doesn't run. He fights. Blow after blow, he battles his own darkness. But with every hit, he loses a piece of himself. He begins to turn black. His voice fades. Before the transformation can complete, Yolena grabs him from behind. "You are not alone," she says, and the others repeat the same. With their belief, their presence, their courage, Bob begins to return. Light flickers inside him. The shadow form cries out. Cracks appear across its body. And then, it shatters. The void is gone. The world breathes again. The darkness lifts. The people once turned to shadow return to normal. Bob, however, has no memory of any of it. Later, the team gathers, still reeling, still healing. But there's one last thing left. Valentina. They track her down. But as they prepare to take her out, they stop in shock. Valentina is standing behind a press conference podium, introduces them. Yolena, Alexei, John, Eva, all of them, as the new protectors of peace, the new Avengers. She spins a web of lies, claiming that she was the visionary behind the project, that all accusations were false, and this was her life's work. Yolena sees right through her. She whispers a threat, quiet and cold. But for now, Valentina walks free. Because finally, Yelena's team gets what they truly earned. Recognition, respect, and the love of the people. The camera fades out on the smiling faces of the crowd. But not for long. In the post-credit scene, we see a satellite. An alert flashes red. A new threat looms. And this new team must face it. The story has only just begun. Thank you for watching.